Keith Hackett, who I must say adopted a very positive attitude about these conditions from the moment he arrived here. A quick word from Ron Atkinson. Ron?
Yes, I think if that snow doesn't affect Liverpool's rhythm and passing pattern of play, I have a feeling they'll just about sneak it today. It's going to be a very, very hard one for them, though.
Kenny Dalglish, who in fact didn't play in the 2 games this season when Liverpool have played at Tottenham, will have beaten. Phil Neal, Liverpool then in their famous red strip, attacking the goal to the right. A goal kick, Ray Clemence. In fact, he's been back here 3 times since he joined Spurs from Liverpool. Each time he's had 3 goals planted past him, he tells me. But he got a great reception from the Kop, and it's fantastic to see that huge crowd behind that Tottenham goal. Having driven in here this morning in the most devastating conditions, it's a tribute to these clubs and to the game as well that so many people have turned up. And it's quite soft underfoot as well, thanks to that under-soil heating they have here at Anfield, some 21 miles of piping. Now, let's remember, Spurs haven't won here then since 1912. The first slight problem of the day is the ball pressure, and Keith Hackett, I think, prepared for it to go on, but looking maybe for a substitute ball in a moment. Well, it's Chris Hughton with Tottenham's throw. Roberts. Gillespie just getting the header in. Nice control there. As you can see, the ball is moving quite sweetly on this turf. There shouldn't be any problem at all. And the snow that's left there now, I'm sure as the players get moving on it, will bit by bit disappear. And the forecast is that it will get a lot milder as the afternoon progresses. Here's Chiedozie. Nicol. And now Phil Neal. Back to Bruce Grobbelaar. Phil Neal, 34 next month, over 800 games for Liverpool and Northampton Town. Dalglish under this one, but beaten by Roberts in the air. Comes through for Wark. Free kick to Tottenham. As I say, it's 1912 since Spurs last won here, and that was by 2-1. And look at that. 42 games played since then, and they haven't won one of them. But here's Galvin seeking to put that record to rights, but stopped on that occasion well by Gary Gillespie. Tottenham's throw. Gillespie in for Lawrence, of course. Galvin, who scored that superb goal against Charlton on Wednesday night. He is. And of course coming in towards Falco. And Gillespie again getting it away. Perryman being pursued by Dalglish. Liverpool throw. Ron Atkinson?
Yes, Spurs have come out in a very, very open and positive manner. They've pushed 4 players straight up front. They've decided, by the look of it, to play quite open in midfield with Hoddle and Stevens in there. I'm just wondering whether that'll give them a few problems. John Wark is in particularly good form for Liverpool at the moment, and it doesn't look as if Spurs have got a natural marker in the middle of the field, someone that can pick up his attacking runs.
Ball did hold up just a little bit there for him under pressure from Wark. Perryman getting it away off Dalglish. Should be a Tottenham throw. 3 goals this season for Kenny Dalglish. Hoddle. Dalglish. Oh, good little run by Dalglish. Played in there towards Steve Nicol. Gillespie playing it forward again. Easy for Clemence. Well, players of great skill won't worry about these conditions. Perryman very, very dogged and determined, and Hoddle with the long ball forward, but it's too long. Hughton. It comes straight to Wark, and here's Steve Nicol. This is Galvin. Stopped by Kevin MacDonald, and the referee quick to pounce and say, cut that out. As Galvin tried almost to a rugby tackle there on MacDonald. Allowed the game to go on with Liverpool in possession, but Huddle cutting out that pass from Neal. It's a good, strong atmosphere here, Ron.
Yeah, it's terrific. Both sets of supporters are seeming good voice. I would think Liverpool have possibly singled out Galvin as a danger man, and I think you'll see an awful lot of back tackling by Steve Nicol upon him. Nicol helping out Phil Neal an awful lot.
A free kick to Tottenham, which Graham Roberts will take. It towards Gary Stevens, getting his header in. He might come for Crooks, and Grobbelaar grabbing it as Garth Crooks came in, and Crooks took a little knock there as he sought to finish off that move. And Grobbelaar in a bit of trouble too. From Roberts' free kick. A good header here, I think, by Stevens. Falco was in there too, a little touch by him. And grabbed by Grobbelaar.
It was a close one for them, wasn't it, Brian? I thought at one stage of that Garth Crooks possibly looked a shade on favourite.
And Grobbelaar in a lot of pain there. He's been having a very good run for Liverpool. 5 clean sheets in the last 8 games. Well, Crooks is okay, and he's certainly been having a good run for Tottenham. With 7 goals in the last 8. It's the left knee that's the real problem, by the look of it, just above it. It's like 7 minutes gone of a very important cup tie. The last man you want to lose is your keeper, but Grobbelaar is okay to go on. He's well enough, in fact, to take the kick. But not very well. MacDonald. Wark touching it on. Dalglish after it again. Roberts is there. Firmly back to his keeper. Falco under this one. It's Gillespie. Oh, just possessed by Garth Crooks. But there's Kennedy. Brought down by Chiedozie. Free kick.
Yes, I think you saw an instant there how the conditions played a part. The Liverpool centre-backs always like to get on the ball and play. And I think at times that's going to cause them a few problems. The ball's sticking and they can't get the right weight on their passing.
Hansen with the kick. Hughton's header, but only as far as Nicol. Liverpool's throw. Certainly Wark now playing it on, Nicol playing it in, Rush couldn't get there, and in the end Stevens getting it away. And now Chiedozie. Now, has he got the pace? Whelan made great strides to get back there, but Chiedozie has gone past him. And Falco couldn't meet it with the head. MacDonald with a chance of getting it away. Oh, what a bad ball. Straight to Perryman. Hoddle with a back pass. Oh, well, Spurs claiming a penalty there with Perryman brought down. It certainly did look like it.
Very much so from here, Brian. The referee was right on the spot, but he definitely looks as if he was pulled down.
The back heel from Hoddle. Well,
I think a few hearts might have fluttered. I've got to be fair, I think the referee, although he's in a good position, in my book, I think he's made an error.
The First bit of controversy in what should be an epic cup tie, and still Bruce Grobbelaar can't get his kicking right. I must say, from the gantry here, that looked a surefire penalty. But Keith Hackett was, I have to say, a good few yards closer to the incident than I was.
I think you also have to say that Keith Hackett is probably one of the best three referees in the game, isn't he, Brian?
And I certainly wouldn't argue with that. MacDonald against the referee. Played back for Hansen. Calmly to Neal. Oh, there's a good run by Rush. Oh, and Whelan very nearly got the shot in. It was well blocked, though, by the Spurs defence at the most critical moment. And here's Perryman. Now Hoddle. Really beginning to open up now. What a ball by Hoddle now, as Chiedozie takes it up with Crooks in the middle. And back comes MacDonald to do a saving job. Well, Crooks and Falco had made tremendous runs into that Liverpool penalty area.
I think you've got to be terribly impressed by Tottenham's attitude. They haven't got one negative thought about them at the moment, and they believe that their pacey wingers, Chiedozie and Galvin, can cause a lot of problems on the flanks.
Certainly Spurs, although it's been so long since they've won at Anfield, in their hearts they feel they've really had a better chance. Their form has been so good. They haven't lost in their last 10 away games. Bit of shoving there, and a free kick given Liverpool's way. The foul on Kenny Dalglish, who will take the free kick. MacDonald's gone forward, Gillespie's gone forward, Rush is in there, Nicol's in there, and Wark, and Kennedy's made a late run as well. In fact, only Alan Hansen has been left back. And over the top from Rush, and the corner, in fact, it must have brushed off the Tottenham defender. So Liverpool's corner. Dalglish will take it. MacDonald's made a run towards the near post, and another corner. That time off Falco. Dalglish again with that corner. Played a little wider this time. And over the top. And a good effort by John Wark there. Good goal-scoring record John's got this season with 15 goals.
Yeah, that must have been a big boost for Joe Fagan this morning when he declared himself fit, because he has been scoring a fantastic amount of goals. And he also, as I was saying earlier, Brian, he looks to be in a position today where he could be the one that could exploit maybe their Tottenham's lack of numbers in midfield.
Hughton with the throw. Coming up to a quarter of an hour if you've just joined us. Liverpool 0, Tottenham 0 in this cup tie at Anfield. And as you can see, after a snowstorm this morning, the pitch not quite as we expected, but it's playing really well thanks to some tremendous efforts by the Liverpool ground staff this morning. Roberts header. Whelan, Dalglish, MacDonald. Oh, the boots of Stevens was high. The free kick goes to Liverpool. Hansen with the free kick with a quarter of an hour gone, 0-0. Towards Wark, got up well. Dalglish playing it into Rush. Can he get it on the turn? Nicol had a shot charged down. All hands to the pump now in that Spurs defence. Wark getting it wide. Changing direction there from Phil Neal. Steve Nichol's in there trying to get it to the byline, but Roberts is there to stop him at the expense of another Liverpool corner. It's Phil Neal. And Perryman putting it into the cop for another corner. Phil Neal wanting, I think it's Tony Galvin back 10 yards, so that Steve Nicol can take this corner, not Kenny Dalglish. Oh, and Chiedozie mistimed his jump. Unfortunate for him, it fell for Gary Stevens, and here is Chiedozie. Crooks is marauding up front. Gary Stevens has made a good run as well. And a bit of shoving there by Hansen, but quite rightly the referee has got to use his discretion on this surface and allowed Liverpool to go on and find John Wark. And now Phil Neal. And away goes Hughton. And Crooks is in the middle. Falco's come up quick as well. And that's a corner now for Tottenham.
I think Hughton will feel he should have done better there, Brian. He got himself into a lovely free space behind Phil Neal. And I think really ought to produce the ball for the strikers.
Well, it remains to be seen if Tony Galvin with the corner can provide something for the men in that penalty area now. Roberts is forward, menacing figure. Paul Miller's in there too, and Gary Stevens up from the back. Galvin's corner, a long and a deep one. And a goal kick. So Bruce Grobbelaar will take the goal kick. Talking about John Wark a moment ago, he took a little time to settle down after his move from Ipswich, but his record over the seasons, both in scoring and the number of games played, is quite exceptional.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players. He gives them something different. He's the one that runs from the middle of the park. A lot of the Liverpool midfield players, by and large, are sitting type players and passing players. He's a little bit different, where he's not too dissimilar to the way Terry McDermott used to do it.
Dalglish with the corner for Liverpool. Roberts was right in there, didn't make much ground on it though. That's going to be another corner off Chiedozie.
Actually, Tottenham are pulling everyone back on corners, Brian, but the marking doesn't appear to be particularly good. There seems to be a lot of spare Liverpool players in the box.
Well, here's Dalglish with another corner. And I think it was Wark probably who got the head to that one. Okay. And you can see there Graham Roberts talking to Gary Stevens. Possibly he's not happy with the marking as well in defence.
Yeah, what they appear to be doing, they appear to be leaving two or three of the Liverpool players around the back stick areas completely unmarked, able to run in almost unchallenged.
Rush. Comes now for Rush. Clemence is out quickly! And Rush has put Liverpool ahead.
Was Rush absolutely brilliant finishing. One stage he looked as if Graham Roberts was going to take him out. I'm a bit surprised Roberts didn't go through the tackle a little bit more stronger, but all credit to Rush, marvellous piece of finishing at the end.
And there goes Rush, and as Clemence comes out, I think it's Perryman on the line, desperately trying to keep it out, but it's a goal for Ian Rush and Liverpool in the lead. Here's Chiedozie. Wark. Nicol. Dalglish. And Miller getting it back to Clemence. Now MacDonald. Miller playing it for Perryman. Roberts. Strong challenge there by Roberts, forcing the ball through for Hughton. And Duran doing a bit of shouting from the Liverpool bench. Galvin seeking to retrieve things now for Tottenham. Dainty footwork by Hansen. And the pass by Neal, which came to nothing, and the ball back with Grobbelaar. Well, that's a familiar sign over the ears, the sight of the clock celebrating a Liverpool advantage. Dalglish on Falco. Or indeed Falco on Dalglish, because the free kick's given Liverpool's way. What exactly happened there, Ron?
I think they both just got a little bit overexcited because they're both characters that can put the foot in. In fact, they can both be a little bit nasty when it's needed.
Well, here's Chiedozie. 20 minutes gone. If you've just joined, Liverpool leading Spurs by 1-0 in this FA Cup tie. Hansen. Liverpool having beaten Aston Villa in the third round, and Spurs having put out Charlton off the replay. Kennedy, the long one away. Hughton being chased by Nicol. Here's Galvin. He's gone round Neal. But he's got Wark to contend with now. Stevens. No, it wouldn't carry. And that time it was a better pass by Neal. MacDonald finding Rush. Oh, that didn't reach Whelan. It went instead to Crooks. Gillespie to do some tidying up. A massive kick there by Grobbelaar, a really big one, but Miller was underneath it. Kennedy. And back by Miller to Clemence. There's no flagging whatsoever in this game. It's being played at a huge pace, and there's very little in the way of stoppages. Free kick to Liverpool. They're a funny lot, footballers. Liverpool, for all their great efficiency and their magnificent record over the last decade, they were really quite superstitious about playing this game on a Sunday. For the last 2 seasons, they've lost on Sundays to Brighton in the FA Cup. It was here 2 years ago when, incidentally, Gary Stevens of Spurs played for Brighton on that day, and you may remember live on ITV last season down at the Goldstone ground. So they're happy to get Ian Rush's goal under their belt. That was a terrible corner by Kenny Dalglish.
Even on that particular corner, you know, the big lad MacDonald had got himself into some lovely free space around by the penalty area. If Kenny Dalglish had knocked in a half-decent ball, then I'm sure he'd have had a strike on goal.
So what are you suggesting, that Spurs aren't quite all they should be at the back at the moment?
No, I think what Spurs are doing, they're pulling a lot of people back and surrounding their own 6-yard box and not picking up runners. They're waiting for players to go into the space as opposed to picking up tight to start with.
Here's Crooks, and now Hoddle. Perryman. Hoddle again. Dancing rather awkwardly there for Hansen, but
it was ironic that Brian Hansen volley him wildly like that, because I was just thinking, just marvelling really at his balance and composure, even in that, when he's in the worst of the pitch conditions. But he's looked as if he's been playing at Wembley.
Perryman. Linesman flagging on the far side, perhaps for an offside. A free kick to Liverpool. Coming up to 24 minutes. Liverpool leading by 1-0, scored by Ian Rush. Oh, the copper asking if Jimmy Greaves is watching. He's in our studio behind the goal, so I hope he is. Back to Grobbelaar. Jimmy, I'm sure, will have plenty to say at half-time, even if the cop won't be able to hear it. I think Probably the cop getting wind of the fact that Jimmy Greaves was suggesting that Spurs might win this one. Well, there's a long way to go yet, though. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil, and Nicol in possession for them now. Dalglish, a delightful ball, but sadly for Liverpool, Wark was fractionally offside. He is watching the profile of the famous Greavesy. It's Stevens. And now Falco trying to turn Hansen, and a free kick given to Tottenham. 25 minutes gone, Liverpool leading by a goal to nil. Now will there be work for Grobbelaar here? Spurs contingent up here from London as Hoddle now takes his free kick with a bit of pace on it, and Stevens flying in along with Roberts, the number 4, in that 6-yard area, but couldn't get the touch that was required. It's a goal kick.
I bet Roberts is half hoping that Stevens hadn't touched that. I'm sure he almost made it himself there.
Steve Perryman, the skipper, with a magnificent record. This is 65th cup tie, FA Cup tie for Tottenham today. Well, offside again against Wark. They're moving forward with a lot of conviction for Liverpool when they do get on the move wrong. Free kick.
Yeah, they showed some tremendous enterprise there, and Wark has only just been offside on a couple of occasions, making those forward runs. And it's a safe bet sometime in the game. He's going to get one that pays off for him. Whether he scores or not, I don't know, but he's going to get a situation for himself.
Gillespie's free kick. Chiedozie got an offside there against Crooks. I think Phil Neal, so we've been told by a viewer, has got his shorts on back to front. That may even be another superstition. The whistle's gone.
Well, I thought he'd given the original free kick for Liverpool. Obviously he hadn't. I just thought Liverpool had been penalised for taking a quick free kick, but the referee's changed his decision by the look of it.
Neal with the header from Gillespie. Nicol getting a bit of length on that one. Whelan, Dalglish, and another offside. Falling into this Tottenham trap quite regularly now, Liverpool.
It's ironic, really, because Liverpool were probably the first team to start and master the art of pushing up quickly from the back. And then
Perryman stopped well by Rush. Here's Nicol. That's a free kick.
You saw another facet of Ian Rush's play there. We seem to regard him just as a great goal scorer, but he's got all sorts of sides to his game, and that was one of them. He's very, very strong and very competitive.
Dalglish. Here's Hoddle. The long ball towards Crooks. Gillespie got in control. Neal. MacDonald. And another offside. There wasn't much in that one because Paul Miller had dropped off a little bit.
I fancy an over-generous linesman for them there, Brian. I think they'd sprung the trap then that time. Miller looked to be sort of 5 yards nearer the goal than the Liverpool players did.
It's a free kick to Tottenham with Graham Roberts, and Liverpool leading by a goal to nil. MacDonald. Perryman. Huddle. Pass intended for Perryman, cut out well by Kennedy. Dalglish, what a delightful header now for Wark. Dalglish is up as well, but Spurs have 4 defenders back, and Roberts was one of them. Half an hour gone. 1-0 to Liverpool. A free kick to Tottenham. Hoddle with the free kick. Towards Falco, but there were 3 Liverpool defenders there, and Gillespie used his height well. Wark didn't complete the clearance. It's with Chiedozie now. This is a good run. Stopped in the end by Whelan, but Chiedozie got possession again. Here's Roberts linking up. Crooks. Dalglish. And now Neal. Dalglish again, Hoddle behind him. And away on that far side is Rush. Played inside for Whelan, and now for Dalglish. And Hughton getting a very timely challenge in once again for Tottenham. Miller the long ball now. Chiedozie trying to get on the end of it. Can Hansen stop the corner? No, he can't. Hoddle will take it. Grobbelaar furiously getting his defence organised. Wanting Nicol to look after Falco at the near post. So Hoddle with his corner for Tottenham. D for one. Galvin will be able to go wide. Can he get the cross in? He can, and it's a good one! And Grobbelaar stretching, just got his fingertips to it. Chiedozie turning it back once more, Roberts going in, and I think there'd been an infringement before Roberts met it with his head. But certainly a moment before that, it was a very, very important fingertip save there by Grobbelaar, just got his fingers to it. Now Dalglish, it's behind Wark, and Miller was first to react. Chiedozie. So although Spurs are this goal down, they are from time to time putting Liverpool under enough pressure to suggest that the afternoon could really hold something for them. But Hughton. Crooks. It's got Falco up alongside him. But Kennedy read that beautifully.
Certainly, Brown, when Spurs get it up into wide positions, Chiedozie and Galvin, they're capable of taking on the Liverpool back four. That last incident was typical of Galvin, where he hits those big, deep crosses. Very, very good keeping from Grobbelaar. Just enough. The fingertip was just enough to prevent a goal.
So it's a throw to Tottenham. 11 minutes before half-time. Play on, said the referee. Played an advantage, and it might turn out good for Tottenham. Chiedozie taking Hoddle's pass.
Just a little bit surprised how many times Tottenham have been able to pump the ball over the head of Alan Kennedy. He's got to be thankful today for the pace of Hansen. I talked about Hansen's composure, but he's also got outstanding recovery pace as well.
Free kick to Tottenham. Stevens right in there. Ronnie Whelan's header away. MacDonald helping it, but only as far as Galvin. Here's Hoddle again. Can he conjure up something for Tottenham? He finds Galvin with a good ball now. Can Galvin do the rest of the work? He can, and he's done it well towards Crooks. Good jump by Wark. Roberts planting it wide for Galvin again. There's still trouble coming for Liverpool down these flanks as Hughton takes it up. Crossed in there, Grobbelaar down. It just eluded Garth Crooks.
Certainly a good period of play now for Tottenham. This is probably the best they've had since the opening 5 minutes.
And the key to that really was the way that Hughton suddenly popped up in the box. There's Roberts. A long ball forward again. Gillespie versus Garth Crooks. And the whistle had gone, and Grobbelaar kept it out in any case, got himself tangled in the net. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. I don't know what force is Garth Crooks, but let's see if we can find out. Well, it looks very much indeed as though Garth Crooks was pulling Gillespie all over the place. And it didn't cross the line in any case. MacDonald, rush, played on, Nicol's okay, Wark's in the middle, and on the far side was Whelan, but it wasn't quite the cross that Liverpool required. But a splendid cup title.
Tremendous, yeah. It's been some quality football. Glenn Hoddle hasn't been in the game an awful lot, but when he's been in it, he's produced moments of magic. Kenny Dalglish has sort of glittered and shone. He's done very, very well. Yeah, tremendous game.
Rush, Wark. Galvin. Goal kick. I don't know where we got the idea that it was going to get warmer as the afternoon went on, Ron. It's absolutely bitter now, isn't it?
Was it Ian St John that was saying the underfloor heating will thaw that ground out? It must have got worse. Looks more snow on it now.
Yes. It's a throw then to Liverpool. Whelan with it. Hughton's header. Hansen's playing a major part in this Liverpool defence. What a 332 games, and all of them pretty consistent, I would have thought, consistently good. Dalglish, what a lovely turn there. Can Wark get the better of Miller? No. Defended well there, Miller, because Wark was showing every signs of getting a shot in. MacDonald a little bit off balance there. Kennedy, that trusty left foot. The flag stays down. Dalglish is on his way with Rush waiting in the middle. Rush with a header, back again for Dalglish. Just lining up his shots, and Hughton intervened. Minutes to half-time now. Ian Rush's 17th minute goal, giving Liverpool a 1-goal advantage. Free kick to Liverpool. A foul again on Alan Hansen. And in fact, Gary Gillespie in a bit of trouble here. He seemed to think it was a clash he had with Mark Falco, and he got a smack in the eye. Haven't seen anything like that since Colin Jones's brave battle with Don Curry.
Oh, he's a handful, is Falco, you know. I think people sort of tend to think of him as being just a local lad that's gone in and scored a few goals, but he did not put himself about. Well, he's got 20 to his credit this season, Falco.
And Gillespie coming off. Possibly it might just be a quick stitch and a bit of plaster, and then back into the action again. Liverpool well aware, of course, there's just 5 minutes to go to half-time, although Craig Johnston doing a bit of warming up. And Steve Nicol has quickly dropped back to right back. Phil Neal has gone into the centre of the defence as Craig Johnston does his warming up. Roberts getting above Rush.
I'm sure he'll be back on Gillespie though, unless he's got concussion. I mean, he didn't look that bad, did it? Not from up here, it didn't anyway.
Miller dispossessed, and Clemence to the rescue. Perryman's throw. Falco. Taking it out for Perryman. Down that flank again for an offside Chiedozie. Free kick for Liverpool. And I think Spurs have a slight problem now because Hoddle is holding his back and looks to be in a certain amount of pain and discomfort. Rush getting it back for Whelan. Now for Kenny Dalglish. Whelan again. And Hoddle can do nothing about it. Hoddle is in real trouble. Free kick.
Looks as if he's going to the touchline, as if he wants to come off, doesn't it? Also, he's had a bang in his back.
Hoddle is coming off, which means that Gary Mabbott, the substitute, will be on. So not for the moment. That's bad news for Tottenham. Already a goal down. And Mabbott doing some warming up now. Hughton. Good jump by Phil Neal. Clearance there by Kevin MacDonald. Roberts. 3 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 1-0 if you've just joined us in this fourth round FA Cup tie at Anfield. Roberts getting it away, but again dispossessed by Rush. And now Wark. Hit first time, no trouble. But a moment ago we had Miller dallying on the ball and being dispossessed. I think that was by Rush and then by Roberts.
I think Rushy tempts them into believing they've got plenty of time on the ball, and he's like, he strikes like a lightning, doesn't he?
Rush with a header, but nobody down that right flank. It'll be free kick. Considering he's only played about 17 league games, Rush, 12 goals. Well, that's about his usual ratio, of course. It's Whelan. Wark, nice turn. Dalglish can't get there, but it'll go spinning towards Ray Clemence. Dalglish once more. Offside against Rush. Just over a minute to go to half-time. Roberts. And out of play. We haven't spoken about Kevin MacDonald, although he's done a fairly solid job there for Liverpool this afternoon.
Yeah, he just sits in front of the back two, and that really enables Wark to go on these forward runs. He just acts as an insurance man for him. He hasn't quite yet got the soonest role, but he'll give them a little bit extra in the air as well, actually.
Well, you're guessing Gary Mabbott is on, which means, of course, that Glenn Hoddle will not be reappearing. And a ball for Gary Stevens. There's some space. Just look at the space on that far side now for Chiedozie. This could be trouble for Liverpool, but it's not, because Kennedy intercepted. I couldn't believe that.
Well, I really can't believe Alan Kennedy's positional play today. He seems to be getting sucked into the play, and Chiedozie's just staying wide on his shoulder. They're able to plonk balls in as easy as anything for him.
Well, it's the last seconds of the first half. It's another corner for Tottenham. John Chiedozie will take it. Big men up again from the back, but Roberts couldn't get to it. Now Miller, the other big man from the back, finding it again for Chiedozie. Maybe a better cross this time. Now Miller once more. And Chiedozie looking to get in behind the full-back again, but there's a little too much on that one, and it's a goal kick. Playing time added on for stoppages at the end of the first half now. MacDonald. Here's Hughton. Neal. Roberts in. Little ball now for Galvin. He's got Falco and he's got Crooks up ahead of him. Alongside is Stevens. Wide on the right, need I tell you, once again is Chiedozie. Stevens played in quickly. Rush, the man whose goal in the 17th minute separates these two sides in this fourth round FA Cup tie, giving Liverpool an interval lead. We shall take a short break. After that break, we shall be getting the views of Jimmy Greaves and Ian St John with Jim Rosenthal. That's immediately after the break. And the news from the Tottenham dressing room is that Glenn Hoddle had a kick around the kidney area, which was troubling a little bit, and that's why he's off, and Gary Mabbutt is on as the Tottenham substitute. So Spurs then will kick off the second half, attacking the goal to the right. 45 minutes to put that long jinx behind them. Remember, they haven't won here since 1912. Joe Fagan, of course, the Liverpool manager, a very down-to-earth guy. He says, well, it's you media people who keep talking about 1912. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about winning today. Roberts getting it away forcefully. Gillespie to Bruce Grobbelaar. Gillespie all right. I don't know whether he had a plaster or a stitch around the eye area, the left eye, that was the one that was troubling him. So can Steve Perryman, skipper of so many years now at Tottenham, inspire his men? Look at that, 33 years old, 740 games, 64 of them in the FA Cup. Can he inspire Spurs to a great victory here? They're a goal down. Hughton now for Tottenham. Back to Ray Clemence, who's won an FA Cup winners' medal, of course, for Liverpool as well as for Tottenham. One more statistic, of course, that Spurs with Aston Villa have won the FA Cup more than any other club, 7 times. Now let's forget about the statistics and get on with the game as Gillespie looks for a rush. Chiedozie funneling a long way back and then finds Perryman. Good work by Chiedozie, supported by Galvin, both those wing men on the same side of the field now, and the flag is up against Gary Stevens. Well, we heard at half-time, Ron, that Ian had the feeling that Liverpool could go on and go through, that Jimmy Greaves still felt that Spurs could pull this one round.
Oh, I think, I said at the start, I thought Liverpool would just shade it, but certainly Spurs, when they do come forward, they're very, very dangerous. I mean, that was a first-class example there when Stevens broke through. He may have just been a shade unfortunate to be offside there.
Dalglish just flicking it on. Yes, they've shoved Gary Stevens into the midfield. Steve Perryman's at right back, and Mabbutt in the midfield as well for Hoddle. Hughton. And now it's with Galvin. MacDonald. Wark being roared on by the crowd, and the pass is a simple one there for Miller to get back. Now Rush. MacDonald intercepted by Hughton. And back it goes from Phil Neal to Bruce Grobbelaar. You may remember we were saying in the first half, an eagle-eyed viewer had said that he noticed that Phil Neal had got his shorts on the wrong way round. In fact, it wasn't superstitious, he tells us. He hadn't realised that he had, but if they win today, next round he'll have them the wrong way round once more. Roberts, very determined indeed. Phil Neal, playing it for Rush. Chiedozie, bit of space. It's a brilliant atmosphere here again at Anfield. Kennedy, I thought he'd played himself into a bit of trouble, but Alan Kennedy knew what he was about. It's a good, strong, arresting run here, but then it's cut out by Roberts, who can repeat the dose. He looked as though he was seeking out Falco, trying to get back into an onside position. Hence the ball comes through to Grobbelaar. Falco, Bruce Grobbelaar. By Whelan, Hughton's header for Tottenham, and now Falco. Mabbott. Hughton playing it long, Gillespie there with the header, and Mabbott returning it to Crooks. Little chest down there, but it fell conveniently for Nicol.
At the moment, Brian, since they've come out after the interval, the game's become that frantic that no one can seem to get the foot on the ball and get a regular sort of pattern to the game.
Now Rush. Wark was well offside at that point. Nicol. Roberts. Wark again, just dinking it through there for Steve Nicol. A little touch from MacDonald. Here's Phil Neal. Nicol again. MacDonald. And an offside, giving Tottenham the free kick. Taken by Miller. It's a good ball by Kennedy for Nicol, but he couldn't hold on to it. And there's Roberts finding Galvin. Hughton towards Crooks. Won it well in the air. Falco. And now for Crooks. But the flag is up again. Bad news for North London if Spurs do lose here after the disaster for Arsenal at York yesterday. And very good news for Merseyside, with Everton having won against Doncaster Rovers yesterday. No shove, says the referee, no penalty. A bit of a dive, he reckoned, by Rush. And now what are Spurs playing at? Back in the end, safely to Clemence. Stevens. nice turn. Little pass there, well gathered up by Whelan. Played it through again, but once again, Wark is offside. It's a curious old start to the second half, this one.
Yeah, it's all a little bit of a mishmash. It's been played at a fierce tempo, and I'm just wondering at the moment, Brian, it's gone very, very cold here, and I'm just wondering whether the pitch is frozen up a little bit, because there seems to be an awful lot more of a bounce in the ball.
Roberts finding Perryman. Chiedozie hunting this one. That'll be a corner off Alan Hansen. So Spurs bring forward reinforcements in the shape of Roberts, Stevens and Miller.
Yeah, they've got quite a good track record on corners, haven't they, this season, Spurs as well.
Well, Chiedozie with this one for them, but that was a bad one. And not a particularly good clearance by Kennedy either. But here's a chance for Wark to break. Finding Rush, persuading Neal. 3 red shirts are streaming forward, supported from behind now by Nicol. Played in the game for Kenny Dalglish, too firmly. Still just this one goal in it, though. Liverpool leading 1-0. 10 minutes of the second half gone. Whelan. Kennedy, or rather MacDonald. Hansen.
I think he's had an absolutely magnificent game, Brian.
Hansen.
Magnificent game, yeah.
Well, here he is again on the ball. And a crash for Falco, and he's down.
That was one of the things that they levelled against Hansen, you know, over the years. Magnificent defender, magnificent player, but perhaps not hard enough. Certainly I noticed the difference this season when we played them. He seemed a lot more resolute in his defensive work.
Well, Falco, the 20-goal man for Tottenham, in a bit of trouble there. Taken a smack in the face and a bit of blood, smack in the mouth by the look of it. And Clemence just keeping himself warm. What a record that is. It's, when you think of it, 36 years old and 793 games, 80 of them in the FA Cup. And it's interesting to think that, although he's very much a Spurs player now, 28 FA Cup games for Spurs, almost double that amount for Liverpool. And that's, I hope Mrs. Clemence gets plenty of cleaning materials available to keep all that silverware in the best possible nick. Well, in the midst of all that, Falco is okay to go on. Spurs have got the free kick, and Perryman might well be aiming in his direction, but it comes to Gary Stevens instead. Off him to Wark. Hughton. He's got Galvin outside him, but he may not require him. Now Mabbott played in again there, but Gillespie's careful little header out of defence. But Perryman, Spurs with a chance now to keep the pressure on Liverpool. Chiedozie, swift challenge that time by Kennedy, but Miller turning it in once more. Crooks, that time stopped once more by Hansen and played back by Nicol to Grobbelaar. And Falco with a fair amount of blood around his face. Miller's header. That's Galvin and Liverpool's throw. It's Rush. It's Dalglish. And it's Perryman. And it's a corner. Listen to the cough again, urging Liverpool to get the cushion of a second goal. Roberts only just got a touch to that one. It will be Wark who turns it back. Crooks with a much more powerful header away. Gillespie. MacDonald going after this one, and a throw to Liverpool. Good, fierce, competitive cup tie this one, and so little in it. Liverpool leading just by this solitary goal. Whelan playing it in. Rush. In the end, it was Falco who got his boot to it, and Liverpool again who get the throw. Kennedy forward, rushes after it, but the flag again is up on the far side. Tottenham's free kick. Chiedozie. It's a good cross there towards Crooks. Grobbelaar came and then went, and it was a little too far for Crooks, and Galvin couldn't keep it in. Liverpool get the throw. It wasn't a very good throw. It almost put Liverpool in trouble, and it gives Spurs possession in any case. It's with Crooks, and then with Mabbott. It came off MacDonald. Can Galvin turn it back again? Prefers to seek the corner, which he gets.
Certainly at the moment it's Spurs making the game. I think they're pushing forward and trying to box Liverpool in. Liverpool at the moment haven't been able to settle into that nice passing rhythm there.
Galvin's corner. Oh, that was a good fist away by Grobbelaar. Galvin again. Quarter of an hour of the second half gone, and it's a slightly more menacing spell this by Tottenham. And Perryman tutting. Oh, that was a nice piece of aid by Perryman, cutting out the dangerous move, and a nice little ball. Now setting up John Chiedozie. A deep cross. Good work by Grobbelaar and by Neal, and Spurs were almost in there. Brilliant piece of work by Chiedozie, and some fine work by Grobbelaar. Applause from Perryman as Chiedozie made this break, sweeping outside Hansen. There's the cross. Grobbelaar just getting his hand to it, and Neal turning it away for the corner. So Spurs now seeking this equaliser as Galvin hits another long one there. Roberts with the header, and it came off Falco, or rather Miller, and behind for the goal kick. So Chiedozie again showing that he might just open up the way.
Yes, I've said from the onset, I think their best threat is to get the two wide players behind the Liverpool back four. I think on 3 occasions today, Grover has made sort of last-ditch fingertip saves. Not so much saves as interceptions. You just saw an outstanding example there with the punch when he came for the corner and punched it.
Stevens. Perryman. Chiedozie. There's Kennedy. But Perryman in as though his life depended on that. Stevens. Chiedozie. Here comes Spurs again. It's MacDonald who's backing off. He's got support from Kennedy. The ball coming off Hansen. It'll be another corner.
Well, certainly I think Alan Kennedy will feel he's had a very uncomfortable afternoon against this lad.
Taking it short this time for Perryman. What a battle Steve Perryman's putting up. A little kick on him there. And last experience that time by Steve Nicol. Wark playing it on for Rush. And now the action will swing to the other end as the red skirts are now streaming forward. And here's Dalglish. MacDonald calling for the ball, but Dalglish playing it in again towards Whelan. And a glancing header putting it behind for the goal kick. Now the pace and the skill has gone up a pace, and Spurs have a player injured.
Well, Miller's just taken a bang in with Wark. He's just had a bit of a collision in midfield with him. That's one of the problems, of course, Brown, when you're pushing forward in search of an equaliser, you always leave yourself open to being hit on the break. And nobody's better probably than Liverpool, with Rush and Dalglish at exploiting them.
Yes, it was the clash with John Wark that suddenly set Liverpool on their way. But the referee's done well. He's kept the game moving well. I think Spurs might have that complaint about a possible penalty in the first half, but other than that, the referee's done well, and the Kop surely are enjoying themselves.
Yeah, it's quite possible that was too early, that decision, you know. It's possible if the same situation arose now, at this stage of the game, it'd probably give Spurs a penalty for it.
Some crowd, just a few below 28,000, which I think you'll agree on such a dreadful day up here on Merseyside, with an absolute blizzard for some 3 hours before the game. That is a magnificent crowd. Knows that they need that second goal to breathe a little more freely. That Spurs in the last few minutes have had the initiative, but Kennedy planting it away. The flag is up for an offside against Ian Rush. You wouldn't put money on anybody at the moment, Ron, would you?
No, it's a good bit of pressure by Spurs. Having said that, of course, Liverpool are in the boss seat. One more goal will probably kill the game if they can get it.
John Pratt, former Tottenham player, now Peter Shreeves' right-hand man there. Roberts plays a long ball forward. Hansen gets it, and now Grobbelaar gets it. And still 25 minutes are left. Back by Gary Stevens.
Stevens has dropped into the back four now in place of Miller. They look as if they just thrown Miller into the midfield blocking up position.
Whelan. That might come now for Dalglish, and again he's offside. Howls from the Liverpool fans on the far side, but the linesman, as he should be, perfectly placed. Up with the flag. Back comes Rush. Here comes Spurs as the ball goes back to Ray Clemence. All the way through to Grobbelaar. Spurs so desperate for that equaliser. Liverpool equally anxious to get a second goal to give themselves a breathing space. They know Spurs are still very dangerous, and here's Ronnie Whelan. Phil Neal. Whelan playing it again for Nicol. Good looking cross coming in. Now Rush. Goal kick.
Ryan, that's got to be a hell of a blow for Tottenham at this stage. To lose Hoddle and to find that Miller now looks nothing more than a passenger. In fact, he's gone right up front now.
Gillespie wanting the ball to go for the corner, and then just kept it in play, didn't go for the throw. Nicol just nodding it on. Stevens battling away. Whelan trying to pick his way past Mabbott, but gets the free kick. Yes, it must have been that Paul Miller took a knock and in that clash with John Wark, presumably, and is now a front man. Stevens. Crooks. Tottenham's throw. Halfway through the second half now, and Liverpool leading by 1-0. Got his header in, so too did Dalglish. Roberts backpedaling quickly to Clemence.
Looks very much as if Peter Shreeves has just said to the lads at half-time, just go out and give it a real good thrash, and that's exactly what they've done. And Liverpool are looking a little bit shaky, to say the least, at the moment.
And here's Gillespie. And now here comes Nicol. Played by Steve Nicol. Neal. Nicol with the throw. Kenny Dalglish. And another Liverpool throw. Crooks. Out of play, another Liverpool throw. Dalglish flicking it on, can Wark it in there. Rush is lurking as well. Nicol crossing it in once more towards the in-rush and to Ronnie Whelan.
That was almost a carbon copy of the goal we saw him score at Nottingham Forest, wasn't it? Coming in on the blind side from a right wing cross.
Yes, it was Ronnie Whelan then. It was Ronnie Whelan now, but it's a goal kick this time. One in the air by Galvin. Now Crooks. Spurs still this goal behind. Hughton. Perryman. Chiedozie. Well stopped that time by Whelan. Good play by Whelan, finding Wark. And here's Ronnie Whelan again for Liverpool. He's got Rush outside him. Played in this time for Wark. Whelan backing up, and Roberts getting in two important challenges. Finding Chiedozie. Crooks. Cut out easily that time by Alan Hansen. Gathering pace. Finding Rush. And still the big defender goes on. Some game Alan Hansen's had, and the clock, I'm sure, will approve of it. There's Hansen again. I think the Tottenham fans sitting at home will be saying, well, what are they going to do now to get this equaliser on? I suppose the more they can feed Chiedozie might help.
I think so. I think that was the big thing. Most of their best movements have come when he's been involved.
But it's Whelan again at the moment for Liverpool. And now it's Hansen.
One thing they haven't been able to do, they've been a bit unfortunate when balls have been crossed, that Falco hasn't been in some of the situations that you've seen him in other games this season. I don't think he's had a header at goal yet, which is for him very, very strange.
Stevens with the back pass. Clemence. Again Hansen there. Stevens. Chiedozie. Played into Crooks. Now Perryman. Chiedozie. Perryman. Neal's header, and won by Wark, which didn't gather a lot of ground. Might go anywhere here, and in the end, it's Whelan who gets it back to Grobbelaar. Neal now leading the next Liverpool assault. Neal again. MacDonald.
I think Tottenham's best chance of getting an equaliser is to play the way they went just after half-time. It's to knock the ball up the field as far as they can. They're going to have to miss out midfield because they Stevens is in the back four now, and Hoddle's off the field, so they might as well try and hit it onto the numbers they have up front.
So Gary Stevens going up into that Liverpool penalty area. Plenty of them up there as Perryman takes this kick. Roberts with that header, and Gillespie heeding the cries of Grobbelaar just behind him, I imagine, whacks the ball there into touch. I'll say a faultless display by Bruce Grobbelaar so far this afternoon. Done really well.
Yes, I think Bruce has played very well. He had an early knock on his leg, and it looks as if his kicking was going to be impaired, but certainly there's been nothing wrong with his handling and his comes for crosses. Yeah, he's played a major part in them having the lead at the moment.
Hughton with the throw for Tottenham. Good jump there by Nicol, but an unfair one apparently. 16 minutes are left. Falco's header. Chiedozie. Liverpool 1-0, Ian Rush 17 minutes, as you can see. Hughton. Nicol, offside by Wark. Roberts with the kick. Jump again by Hansen, finding John Wark. In turn, getting it away on this left flank to Ian Rush. Dalglish and Walker through the middle. Support here from Ronnie Whelan. Dalglish. Little poke through, no problems there for Tottenham. Galvin. Spurs with 15 minutes left to save themselves. Here's a nice little passing movement, bringing a profit now for Liverpool until Wark again, for the umpteenth time this afternoon, is caught offside. It's going to take a great effort by Tottenham and a lot of character, I think, to pull it round, with Hoddle off the field and with Paul Miller, virtually a passenger, now playing as a front man. And Liverpool looking again for this second goal. It's Rush. A little chip in there towards MacDonald, played again for Kenny Dalglish, and suddenly Crooks was in there. And you get the feeling that Liverpool may have made a little more of that.
Yes, they've managed to kill the game down a little bit, stop Spurs' rush. I think a lot of that's due to Miller's injury. I've just wondered for the last quarter of an hour or so whether Miller couldn't go back and just sit at the back and let Spurs get something like their normal attacking formation.
Nicol, MacDonald, that's a lovely ball for Gillespie, except that Roberts went storming in. And the Tottenham manager, Peter Shreeves, now down from the director's box to the touchline to urge one last big effort from his men. About 12 minutes are left. Now Dalglish making a break. Stevens with him. Wark is coming up quickly from the back, so too is Whelan. That's the curling shot, but it didn't curl enough. an indication of how Spurs realise that time is running out for them. Clemence really ran away and put that ball down on the spot quickly enough to get the game in motion again. Noticeable that Steve Perryman ran to the touchline and obviously got a word or two from Peter Shreeves. And the upshot of that is that John Chiedozie has gone almost into a central striking position. He's abandoned his position away on the right flank, and Chiedozie now has been pushed as a central attacker. You can see him now on the bottom left of your picture. Now, how do you interpret that one?
Not really quite sure whether it's just to try and accommodate Miller in some way, realising that he is having a lot of problems with his running, whether it's just to say, all right, at least if you stay out on the right wing, you're an out-and-out passenger there.
You're quite right. Miller's coming out onto the right. Free kick to Tottenham. 11 minutes left. And Miller really struggling, number 5. Playing now as an emergency outside right. Remember, they've already made their substitution, with Mabbott on for Hoddle. Here's Kennedy. Well stopped by Mabbott, but it might come for Ronnie Whelan. No, it's a throw instead. Now Rush. Good control and terrier-like tackling again from Steve Perryman. So it's another corner for Liverpool. Kennedy and Clemence. That's a good throw. At least it might be. We've gathered that little bit of pace when the idea was so good to release Crooks down that left side. Wark. There's Galvin going in there. Garth Crooks again. Free kick to Tottenham. Wind is bitterly cold, but I hope the game is keeping everybody warm here and at home, with Liverpool leading a 0-0 with 10 minutes left of this cup tie. Liverpool leading Spurs 1-0. Stevens. Yes, Chiedozie on that far side now. But Whelan quick to react, finds Phil Neal. But Spurs get possession again with Perryman. You're just a goal down. No matter how much the odds seem to be stacked against you, you're always in with a chance. Hansen, back to Grobbelaar.
At the moment, the Spurs problem, Brian, is that nobody seems to quite know where they're playing. Sometimes Falco's back in midfield, sometimes Galvin and Crooks are in midfield, and at the moment they've lost a lot of that formation.
Well, here's Dalglish. No, stopped by Gary Stevens. For Tottenham. It's a corner. Dalglish will take it. Hitting low this time, Nicol. It's Crooks who got it away. Kennedy, who will look to maybe turn it back in, although he may be tempted to play a short ball to Dalglish, who's just behind him and who's not moved. There it is. Now, can Kenny Dalglish get it in by the byline? Kennedy, no space for him this time. A little jink. It wasn't very profitable, and then he just throws himself at Galvin and concedes the free kick.
I think it's a bit double-edged as well with Chiedozie moving off the flank. It's enabled Kennedy to go forward with a little bit more freedom now. I mean, I bet he's welcomed the move.
Good point. Chiedozie, in fact, away on the left-hand side at the moment. And Roberts has now gone forward. They've taken all the risks possible now, Tottenham, by... Well, Miller they've got to have forward because he's obviously not 100%. but Roberts also, leaving just Hughton at the back along with Perryman and with Gary Stevens here. Now Stevens. Well, there are enough white shirts forward. Galvin's one of them, and that's always dangerous when he's away down the flank. And the cross is in, Gillespie away to Neal. And Mavitt got the better of him. Here's Roberts. And Whelan got the better of him, and a Tottenham throw. It's a bit frenetic out there in point of fact. Spurs so anxious now in the little time that's left, a little over 5 minutes to get this equaliser. Oh, no, they come for Dalglish, thank you, he says. And walks through the middle as well, but the pass wasn't measured quite finely enough. Long clearance by Clemence. MacDonald up well. Miller trying for all he's worth to get the ball back in there again, but Stevie Nicol getting it clear for Liverpool. Hughton. It's a jump and a good one by Hansen. Now Roberts finding Perryman, or at least Perryman saying to Chiedozie, all right, you have it, and cross it in. Crooks is there again for Tottenham. Back for Roberts. Galvin in a bit of space on the far side. Neal closing quickly. He could still pose quite a threat, Tottenham, here, without any doubt at all. Mavitt crossed in once more. Crooks. Hansen finding Rush. Dalglish is lurking. Here's Ronnie Whelan. Played for Wark. Oh, Hansen of all people on that right-hand side. A deep cross towards Kenny Dalglish. Nodded in, and Kennedy was in there too. Perryman stopped well by Whelan. Now this could be trouble for Tottenham. The cross is in there. Rush miskicked. That's the collector's item. A real dead-eyed Dick to miskick in that fashion in front of goal. Left. Liverpool leading 1-0. Perryman. Hansen. And now Kennedy. Getting reminded of one of Brian Clough's favourite remarks, it only takes a second to score a goal. Well, Spurs will hope that that second arrives very shortly now. Perryman keeping it in. Gillespie up well. Can Mavitt turn it back? And now it's with Galvin. Well, he scored one against Charlton, but that's wrecked against John Wark. Here's Hughton taking up the challenge again. Put it through, and Grobbelaar will get there before Garth Crooks. Exactly 3 minutes left now. Long ball from Phil Neal, and Kenny Dalglish! Number 2! No! Yes, it's there. I thought for a moment it had been disallowed. Has it been disallowed? It has. The flag was down, and Kenny's shot right at the end is disallowed.
I can't think it was offside. I don't know if he fouled Stevens here, did he? Did he foul him? He may have given first push at the back, but he certainly didn't look to foul Stevens. He didn't look to be offside.
Well, a little mystery there, but it remains 1-0, and Spurs then still have a finger hold on the game. Galvin. And right across that Liverpool goal, and that could so easily have just been tapped in.
certainly the lad Galvin has battled for all he's worth today, and that was an example of it.
Abbott couldn't quite reach it. Galvin looking to turn it back once more. There could be problems here for Liverpool. Dalglish only half getting it away. Rush just nicking it away from Roberts. Dalglish in some space on this side. And here comes Grobbelaar out. The flag was up in any case. Dalglish, Rush, and Clemence down. Away by Hansen, and Stevens, and 30 seconds are left. Hansen away. Dalglish. A little touch there. And now Dalglish is on his way. And Wark too. Oh my word, no. We're now in injury time. And Liverpool are almost there. The whistles go up from the top. And they want to see Liverpool in the 5th round. Hansen, who's had a magnificent game, but the referee pulls him back and wants a word with Falco and gives Liverpool the free kick.
We've just had a situation there. John Wark's waited all afternoon. He's been frustrated. He's run offside. All of a sudden, last minute of the game virtually, finds himself in his favourite position, and he goes and messes of it.
Free kick to Liverpool. They're now playing time added on. Towards Wark on the far side, how well he got up. Roberts battling with Dalglish. And the final whistle. And that long old hoodoo remains here for Tottenham. Liverpool go through to the 5th round of the Cup.